You look like a girl version of Dulquer Salman.
Greencard a space where you can do that, which is a safe space where you feel comfortable, where you have hundreds of other people who's doing the same thing. And so I think that's what we offer is that space for you.
Why USA? That shit is dying.
Writing 2 books didn't give me the visa, but this comment reminds me of a post that I saw once.
You're not a lawyer to give immigration solution. You're not a consultant for visas. You run a club where you bring all these together and wrote a book about the same. Lawyers have a better book. What exactly does your service offer? I still don't get it.
Hey guys, and welcome to the channel of The Curious Maverick.
The ones who are highly paid and comfortable in their job says don't want to be chained to a desk. Here we are struggling to make ends meet with a low-paying job.
Okay, so I've certainly talked a lot about quitting my job, and I've also talked about the benefits of someone quitting their job. So I can see how this person is spot on in saying that I was very privileged when I quit my job. I mean, when I quit my job, I've been working there for 2.5 years. I paid off my loans and I had no debt. And I also had some savings, which I could sustain myself on. And so I was in a very lucky and privileged position. But I feel like this comment is almost besides the point in some sense, because forget about me for a moment. Forget about all the other privileged people out there who have high-paying jobs. Think about your life and think about, what do you want? I mean, do you want to stay in your job for the next 5-10 years? Do you want to someday quit and start something? Do you want to work somewhere else, perhaps? So really, when you hear about creators talking about quitting their jobs, I know sometimes it can feel frustrating that you're thinking, like, they get to do that, but I don't. That's not really helping your situation, right? So forget about everyone else and think about your life, what you want, set a goal, and then you work towards that. So I feel like while I completely acknowledge my privilege in the fact that I had more money than, say, an average person who quit their jobs, I don't think it's going to help.
You look like a girl version of Dulquer Salman.
This is, you won't believe this. In the last 3 weeks, 2 other people have told me the exact same thing that you just said. I didn't even know who is Dulquer Salman when I heard it first. I had to go Google who that is. And please, I don't watch movies in general, so just excuse my, obtuseness, stupidity on all of this. But he does look really good, so I take that as a compliment.
How does writing 2 books give you an extraordinary visa? Doesn't add up.
Well, okay. First of all, writing 2 books didn't give me the visa, but this comment reminds me of a post that I saw once on Blog. It's this anonymous professional network where someone was definitely talking about me when they asked this question, or they said something like, I know this person who wrote a book on immigration to get the O1 visa. And a few people who commented there mentioned that, is it Soundarya? And I saw that, I laughed because I wish it was that simple. I wish you can just write a book and get the O1 visa. I got an O1 denied in May 2022. And I was so freaking done with the immigration system at that point that I didn't want to apply for an O1 again at all. I was just so frustrated. And then I turned the frustration into, maybe let's write a book on this, and Unshackled happened over the next year. I was actually ready to leave the US, and I did. I left to come back to India for about 9 months. And then I refiled my O1 after my lawyer said, I think now you're ready. You should give it another shot. So to the question of how does 2 books help you get an O1? It didn't. My O1 had 750 pages of documents, which was much more than 2 books. For example, I also showed proof of getting a grant for $50,000, publishing 20 or 30 articles across publications and media outlets, judging the work of others, peer reviewing papers, being covered in press, and just, so much more. So you cannot just write a book and get an O1 is my point. You have to satisfy 3 out of 8 criteria, which I talked about in depth. But I completely get why you think I wrote the book together.
Totally off topic. Girl, try good gold jewelry. You're a warm tone.
I mean, I don't know what to say to that. Thanks so much.
You're not a lawyer to give immigration solution. You run a club where you bring all these together and wrote a book about the same. Lawyers have a better book. What exactly does your service offer? I still don't get it.
You're absolutely right. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a consultant. But I will say that I'm an expert on high-skilled immigration. And I'm saying this because I spent the last 2-3 years reading about this, researching about this. I wrote a book on this called Unshackled with a lawyer. And in general, I've also helped many other people stay through their journeys and also have an ONA and EB-2 NIW talent visas on it. I'm just saying all this to say that I know more than the average person out there on this topic. But coming to your real question of what does Unshackled Club offer really? Look, there's a million places on the internet where you can go and get information for anything you want. I mean, I spend a lot of time on Reddit every single week, and it's amazing the kind of things that I get to learn from there. So we wanted to create one such space on the internet where you can just go and talk about one thing only, talent visas. Like, you don't come to Unshackled Club and talk about, I don't know, like life coaching or personal finance or marriage. It's not meant for that. Like, you come there and you nerd out about one topic. And we built the space where you can do that, which is a safe space where you feel comfortable, where you have hundreds of other people who's doing the same thing. And so I think that's what we offer, is that space for you. And beyond that, we also give you access to top lawyers who all will give you a free profile evaluation, where you will get access to like tens of people who got these visas before, who can talk to you and answer questions. You can attend meetups happening in your city. You can be updated on all the breaking news happening in the field. So obviously you can do all of this on your own, and you don't need to join a community for this. I did it by myself. But the point of starting this is so that we save your time. So you pay $1,000 once and you have access to something like this forever. And by the way, if you're a student, then apply for the Unshackled Scholarship. We just launched this like a week ago, and it's meant to help students who don't have the same kind of earning capacity and money as someone who's working. And so we're giving anywhere from 30 to up to 100% off on our lifetime membership. So just visit goreadunshackled.com/scholarship.
Best option, get married to a US citizen. Lol.
Oh my God. If I had $1 for the number of times someone is commenting this on one of my quotes ever, I would probably make more money than anything I've made through sponsorships. Yeah, I think if you want to get a green card really, really fast, and you have someone who you love you in America, then definitely.
Why USA? That shit is dying.
That's okay. Like, I mean, the internet is so fun because of people like you. And I think what you really mean is that, hey, USA is making immigration so difficult for people to live there. And the H-1B lottery selection rate has been coming down every single year. It's so expensive to study there, to live there. So why? What's the point of going there if India is developing? If you can get a similar opportunity right here? I think to that question, my answer is to each their own. I went to the US like 7-something years ago because I just really wanted to know what does it feel like to live in another country and get education there. I still stand by the fact that if you want to make money fast as a tech professional, I definitely think America is one of the best places to do that. I don't think you can do that in India. I mean, getting $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 paycheck out of college just doesn't happen over here unless you're maybe in like the top 0.0001%. And I also think if you want exposure, if you want to live in a community house with people from 10 different countries, if you want to raise money for your company, if you want to do a book tour, which I did a few months ago, like stuff like this, it is 10 times more prevalent and easier there than in India, as far as I know. But I will also agree that even I don't see myself settling down to the US for the longest term. I don't know yet. I'm still deciding that for myself. I think there's a lot of value in going there, spending a few years, studying, making some money if that's what you want, getting some experience and then coming back, instead of just sitting here and, not having any exposure to what life is like there and just saying, hey, it's not even worth it. So I would just say, keep your mind open and you might be.
I just went through your profile. Honestly, you're a super inspiring. I hope you carry on the good work. We need this.
Thank you so much. I mean, the internet is a weird place because you have love and hate right next to each other. And it's just, I think it really helps to have stuff like this balance out all the other parts of the internet. So thanks so much.
You've been following my content for a long time. Thank you so much. You're amazing. And before you go, if you'd like to sneak behind the curtain of what it takes to write a novel, grow a company, or just live in a foreign country, check out curiousmaverick.com. And hey, subscribe to this channel because from now you'll hear from me every week.